So hi guys, in the previous video we have learned about illegal Unicode. So the next topic will be character blocks, number and dates. So what is the character blocks type? This payload type generates payloads based on blocks of specified character or string. It can be useful in detecting buffer overflow and other boundary condition where vulnerabilities in software running in a native unmanaged context. It can be used to exploit some logic flows where input of particular length bypasses input filter or trigger an unexpected code path. The following options are available. Base string, the input string from which the character blocks can be generated. Minimum length, the size of smallest block that can be generated. Maximum, the maximum size of the block that can be generated. Step, the increment in the length of each character block. Okay, let's suppose there is a program that is vulnerable to buffer overflow, and if you enter, or there can be a logic flow if you put like null payloads, or let's suppose there is an application that is, okay, let's see this one. So there is an application that is using only 16 character username. Okay, so this is a condition for that website. And what if you are trying 1600 character username? Okay, so what will be the error there? Okay, so there can be something like if there can be a buffer overflow vulnerability and you can trigger that, or there can be a logic flow that you can trigger with that 1600 numbers, okay, characters. There can be like if you are trying 1600, the server can crash from the backend, or that can send something, a error data to you, log data to you, or there can be chances of many things. Okay, so that's how these logic flow works. So this, for these logic flows you can use character block. Okay, let's see. We have a normal request here and we are using character block. So the base string, what is the base string? It will be the string that is being used in the place of this. Okay, so let's suppose a, or let's suppose hash. Okay, we are using hash here. Okay, a is by default, so we will be using hash. So suppose we are using hash, one hash. Okay, so what was the next number? Can be the 10 time hash. Okay, so it can be like 10 time or 15 time hashes, and then these. Okay, so let's suppose the base string, this will be the string. On the basis of this string, the character blocks will be generated. Okay, so we are using hash here. Okay, so let's see this and let's try. Okay, so as you can see, in the first request we have no payload, then in second we are using 50 hash, 100 hashes here, then 150, then 200, 250, and similarly as go on to 1000, because maximum length is 1000 and step is 50. So that's how the character blocks work. Let's suppose there can be a thing like we are using my long payload or long password DOS attack. Okay, so you are trying to create long password DOS attack and you want to see where that thing stops. Okay, so if you are using a long password here, okay, I'm using the username and the string starts from 10,000. Okay, and the strings, the character block will stop on this number. Okay, and what will be the step will be 5,000. Okay, every time that will generate more 5,000. Okay, let's see. I just increase some number here so the request attack can be faster. So let's see. So as you can see, the number of name username is generated 10,000 times. Okay, if I make it row, you will be able to see this. You can see this is 10,000, then 15,000, 20,000, and similar to this number. So it's still going on. Okay, there is no difference because it's, this attack is going on a Google website. Okay, there can, I don't think there will be any vulnerability, so there can be any error. But if you are using this for like long password dose attack or long password usernames or buffer overflow and other type of logic flow, you can use these cases. Okay, so I just stop it and let's move on to other next payload type. So the next payload type is number. This payload type generates numeric payload within a given range in a specific format. This option described below are the available. So first of all, we have number range and then number format. Okay, so we have two things here. I just close this one. So we have two things, number range and number formats. So what is number range? The following option can be configured. Type. The options specify whether number should be generated in defined sequence or at random. Okay, from if number are being generated sequentially, this is the value of first number that will be generated. Otherwise, it will be the smallest possible number that may be randomly generated. 2. If the number are being generated sequentially, this is the value of the last number that will be generated or the nearest lower increment of the step value. Otherwise, it will be the highest possible number that may be randomly generated. Step. So this will be the step. So after that increment, the number should be generated. Okay, the steps to upside or downside. Okay, how many? This option is available when numbers are being generated randomly and specify the number of payload that will be generated. Note that duplicate payload may be generated. Okay, let's see. So let's see this example in Notepad first. Let's learn this thing. Okay, so there is a thing like you want to generate the numbers in the payload. Like mostly people use this for rate limiting stuff. Okay, they are just trying rate limiting and mostly people use this thing. Okay, the use cases are highest. Like you are trying to create a username. Okay, so you are trying that username with 1 or then you are trying that same username with 100. So you can get idols like this and there can be business flows. Okay, so let's see, you want the number from 1 to 100 and so 1 to 100 can be like 1 2 3 4 200. Okay, so this should be a sequence. How you will define after what will be after the 1? Okay, it can be 1.2, it can be 1.5 then 2 2.5. Okay, there can be chances. So how you will define these things? So this will be defined with the help of steps. So you can define the step as 1. Okay, this will be one step. Then we are going on like from 2 we have select step and how many. So if you are not using this one, you are using this one and you are not using this function, step function. So in the step you have defined values. So after how many points or how many numbers you have to increase that. Okay, but in random there can be something like only you just want 50. So it can be like 50 60 90 99 99.1 99.2 3. Okay, something like this. It can be anything. Okay, so let's see in this Burp Suite. So we will select numbers here. So starting with type, there is two type of number range, sequential and random. In sequential there will be a starting point from 1. It can be anything you want, just number your favorite. 2, I will be on 100. Okay, step. So first of all I just choose 1. So if I just choose 1, okay, I will be on decimal side first, not on the hex side. So on the decimal side, if I choose 1, you can see the counting is from 1 to 100. Okay, so that's the thing. If I can't choose random here. Okay, how many? Because I have already stated the step. So the payload count is generated on basis of that steps. Okay, so I just want like 50. Okay, 50 payloads and let's start this. So you can see the example. The payload is like just random payload. Okay, 52.1839 and then 37.53, anything. And also there are chances of generating duplicates. Okay, so this is how the random function works, and sequential, and from two step, and how many functions work. So next one is number format. So let's see the theory part first. In this, the following option can be configured. Base, the options specify whether number should be generated in decimal or hexadecimal form. Okay, so there are chances like you want to generate some numbers in or like decimal numbers 1 2 3 4 5, or hexadecimal. There can be if you have seen some MAC address, so you know the MAC address are generated like 0 to 9 or any number, and they have A to F. Okay, they are generated like this one. So there can be 1 F 3 A 90 B, something like this. Okay, so this is how they are generated. So these are the hexadecimal numbers. So then minimum integer digit, this is the minimum number of integer digits each number will have. Number with fewer integer digit will be padded with zeros on the left hand side. Okay, the maximum integer digit, the maximum integer number of integer digits each number will have. The number with more integer digits will be truncated, losing the more significant integer digits. Minimum fraction digits, this is the minimum number of fraction digits after the decimal points. Each number will have number with fewer fractions digits with padded with zeros on the right hand side. The option is not available when generating hexadecimal numbers. Vice versa with maximum. Okay, so each of the digit option may be left blank, indicating that no minimum or maximum size should be enforced. Example of number generated by the current number format generated. Okay, so let's see this in the example in Burp Intruder. So let's see, we have already seen this example with the number range. So what is the number format? So first of all, we can choose like we want to create a decimal numbers or hex. So you can see the examples here. Okay, you can see the examples. So if you are generating decimals, so it will be like 1.1 and like this one. Okay, all are the numbers. And if you are creating hex, it can be like this one. Okay, numbers and A to F. Okay, so let's see this one. So what is the minimum integer? So if your minimum integer is 1, like let's see, I will clear this one, and let's see your counting is starting from 1 2 3 4 to 100. Okay, so the counting is 1 to 100. So what is the minimum integer digits? So we have one digit here. From 1 to 9 we will be having only one integer digits. Okay, all numbers will be 1, and then 9, then 10 to 99 we will be having two digits. Okay, then 100, only 100. We are not going further because the last is 100, so that will be 3. In this case we have 1 here, 2 and 3 type of integer digits. Okay, so let's suppose you want to create the numbers with only 5 digits, 5 integer digits. So like, but you just want to start with 1 to 100. So what will be there like? So it can be starting with zeros. Okay, so when we are on 1 to 9 we can use 4 zeros, and similarly 4 zeros and 2s, and similarly to 4 zeros to 9, and then we are going to 10 to 99. We have already 2 digits, so what we can use, we can use 3 zeros and like this. Okay, so we will be using 3 zeros and 99, and then we have 3 digits already. So what we will do is we will use 2 here and 100. Okay, so we are completing the minimum number of integer digits. Okay, so what can be the maximum number of integer digits? So suppose, so this case is for the minimum. Okay, so let's suppose the what can be the maximum if this number is more likely this number. Okay, I don't know how long this number can be. So if the maximum, I just want to maximum is equal to 5. Okay, 6, maximum is 6. So what will be the point here? So maximum will be like not supposing zeros here. I will think all will be numbers. Okay, 3 and 3. Let's suppose how many zeros we have here. Okay, so we have a 7-digit number already. So the last payload will be like this, and after this the payload will start again from 0. Okay, so let's see. So we are 1 to 100 and the maximum digit is 2, and let's see the attack. So with starting with zeros, starting with 0 to 9, 0 9, then we have 10. Okay, many times if you are registering something there, you just see these things like like expiry and month on your card number. Your expiry is sometimes written like if your month is 6 and year is 24, 2024. So sometimes this is written like this and sometimes it's written like this one. So there can be different patterns for writing this. So this states 2-digit here. So you can try this method. It will create 2-digit numbers. Okay, automatically. You don't need to configure this thing. Okay, so, and I think you can't even configure this thing without this. Let's see if we can configure this. 0 1 to 100. Okay, yeah, we can't generate these numbers even if we are writing 0 1. Okay, we can't create like 0 1 0 2 0 3. We just have to use minimum integer digit as 2. Okay, if we use this one, then we can create like this. Okay, also if we are using 5 here, what about the 5? So you can see our example is the same. 4 times zeros, then 3 times zeros. In the last one we have 2 times zeros. Okay, so this is how the minimum integer digit works, and let's see for the maximum one. So let's suppose we just want 1-digit numbers. Okay, 1 digit. Okay, so let's see. After 9 we have 0 again. Okay, 0 again, because it was like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and it was 10. The 1 is removed now. Okay, the 1 is removed from whole the list, and now on 20 the 2 is removed. Similarly on 100 all the 10, like 1 0 is removed. Okay, so that's how the maximum integer works. And sometime like you can write 2 here and 1 here. So you can't do these things, you can't do these tricks with the, if you will write maximum can, okay, if you write 1 here it will be automatic, minimum integer will be 1. Okay, so this thing works similarly. And then you have minimum fraction digits. So how many fraction digits can be the digits after the decimal or point? Okay, like 6 point, how many fractions should be there? Okay, if you choose 5 there will be 5 zeros, anything like 5 or 4. If you already have this number, then there will be a 0 added after this one. Okay, so this is how this will work. And similarly the max fraction. So that's how these things work. If I just start this, you will see 1 point like this. Okay, this is how this thing works. And if we just start the hex, the numbers will be generated into hex. Okay, you can see now 1 to 9, and then we have A B C D E F. Okay, then again 10, then we are using 1A 1B 1C 1D 1E 1EF. They are creating like 1 to 9, and then they are using 1 A to F, then we are using 10 to 99. They are, okay, 10 to 99, but just like 10 to 20. Let's see with 10 to 20. So they are using 1 in the place of zeros. On the place of zeros, like zeros are changing here, nothing else. We have 1 1, then 1 2, 1 3. So these things are changing like this one. Okay, in the hexadecimal form, this will change like 1a, 1b, 1c, 1d, 1e, 1f. Then we can start with 21. Okay, so they are also on f side. Okay, on f, because hexadecimal just create a to f. Okay, so that's how the hex numbers are generated. So let's move on to the next one. Our next payload type is dates. So this payload type generates date payloads. This payload types generate date payloads within a given range or in specified format. This payload type may be useful during data mining, example traveling a order book for entries placed on different days, or brute forcing, example guessing the date of birth component of user credentials. The following option can be available from two-step format. This is the first and the earliest date, and then to the last date, and then step the increment between successive dates in days, weeks, months, or years. It can be a positive value. Okay, you can't just go backward in the dates, like you start with 2 and you go on the 1. Okay, the format can be like this one. Okay, these are some formats that can be used. So let's see here. If I choose the dates, and so the first day is 13 June 2001. Okay, so the format is used this one. So we can change the format also from the fixed format to the custom format. Okay, if I there are some formats like this. So on this one, the first date is 13 June 2021, and seconds can be like 20 June 2021, and step is 1 day. Let's start. Okay, so we are on 13 to 20. So that's how this works. If we are using something like what about 35, June 35? There is no real number like June 35. So if you use this number, it will create a mess here. You will get it. After the 30, June 30, it will create 1, July 1. Okay, to the July 5. The more 5 days will be added into the July. It's not like creating 35 June. Okay, so if you want like 1 year. Okay, we are like 1 June to 30 June, and there should be 1 year between. So let's see this. Okay, wait. We are like 21 to 21. So not like this one. So there can be 25. So after this, I think there will be 5 years. Okay, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is how the thing works. So that's the thing. You can change the formats, and these are the simple things. I don't think we need to explain these in extensively. Okay, these are some special cases. So it's on you how you choose your examples or your application and payload types. So just start practicing your stuff and you will get this thing on your hands. Okay, so that's all about this video. In the next videos, we will learn about brute forcer, null payload, character fobber, bit flipper, username generator, ECB block shuffler, extension generator, and copy from other payload. Okay, thank you guys.